Studebaker National Meet in Adelaide.
Running. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, drivers to the GT Hawks, if you'd like to return to your vehicles. And we haven't judged the commercial vehicles yet, so hang in there.
Yeah, all right, okay. Pinching your front wheel, boy. Anyway, I can give it the end. If anyone rings, I can give it the end. Yeah, give us the end.
Thanks very much, Bob.
Good, actually. Very simple.
Yeah.
How you doing, old man? Sit down.
Well, don't forget our barbecue. It's in full swing now, lunchtime. And sausages, onions, sauce, all for $2.
Hello? Hello, I can see you just walking past the ship. Yeah.
You're bored then. I was going to say, you did have a bit of variation.
Straight through.
Just married this morning. How happy they are. It's just married this morning. How happy they are. Just married on the window of the car. They don't have to say a thing. There's people like you can jump along.
Not by us. Yeah, no. There's 10. Yeah. No.
So you don't have to judge your room?
No.
Oh, right.
No, we don't do that here. Cars for him. Yeah.
Ours are
Respray the car.
Anyway.
Get the camera off that lark, mate, will you?
You'll be next.
I didn't recognise you. I know, of course. I know.
Okay, we might pass before I go.
No, we're up to Brisbane tomorrow, so.
Oh, you would be in trouble if you hadn't have been.
We're paging all the judges this time. Judges, if you'd like to just finish off the car that you're judging, because it's going to be very difficult. These cars are absolutely magnificent. Lunchtime. On this concourse, and we do have a request from the owners of the cars. If you're visiting and just looking, we'd prefer you not to touch them because we don't want greasy hand marks all over them. I know there's a very old vehicle for sale. If anybody wants to get into Studebaker's, it's a 1926 ambulance, which is for sale too. You can't miss that one. Plenty of vehicles for sale, just talk to the owners.
On the other one, yeah. No, there's none there. Oh, the chap wasn't there.
Where do we get down there tonight?
Oh, are you? Yeah, we should. Right.
Yeah, we've been there. We're actually only there.
But they're on their way, having a very difficult time.
not the bloody charge full, it's the fucking doctor's bill.
No, it's just unreal. It's good to see. It's just like seeing he and his wife, the one first time I seen it, they just camp. It's a great adventure. Great adventure.
Same body on it
So next 2 years' time.
confused now.
Okay, now are you watching the time, boy?
At the Birdwood Car Museum. Studebaker Garford. Another Garford double-decker bus.
Hang on. Yeah. Here's an explorer. WG. Yeah, he got it. It's got pearls through the cover too. Very nice.
Brenton, if you could announce who's won those awards.
1928 President Roaster from Rolling Morgan.
You don't. Oh no. Yeah, sorry.
The second prize goes to a 1922 Light 6 Tourer owned by Dave Hargraves. And unfortunately got a family commitment tonight and cannot make it. Sorry folks. Folks, I just had a little bit, oops. And for the first prize goes to Dave Pink.
Yo! Bloody Mexicans, they always come up, don't they? Always invading the border.
Yeah, good on you.
Take a photo soon.
Yeah,
You got a big enough camera there? Carol's patting me in the back, she thinks I'm getting smarter. Oh!
we're Victorian. We expect more.
That's a 1925 Standard 6.
Thank you, Mark. Never picked you to come up and present trophies. Dave didn't behave himself in the New Zealand trip. He led me astray.
Okay, third prize for commercial class is the 61 wagon owned by Phil Baker.
Brenton asked me to read it. I couldn't read his writing and he can't read it.
Post-war goes to Peter Cole. 58 President.
I often wondered about you two.
Thomas. Mr. Award goes to Bob Clark with his 55 Commander Patrick.
Dave, you're still here, Dave. Unfortunately, you're still here.
Okay, third prize, as I said previously, was a 61 wagon owned by Phil Baker. Second prize in the commercial class goes to a 52 2R5 owned by Colin Scott.
Good work.
You're on your buddy.
Colin?
Goes to a 1963 Champ Ute owned by Dave Marr.
Over here.
We would ask Colin Scott to come up from Victoria to present the next Lark and Cruiser trophies.
Due to the number of entries in the Lark class, we have extended it to 5 prizes. And the first goes to a 59 hardtop. And fifth prize.
Keep all the light ones there, shouldn't they? Take one further.
Gee, it's suspense,
Goes
isn't it?
to Max Myers. Fourth prize goes to a 62 Lark, M. Larson.
He's getting a proppy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Prize goes to a 1960 Lark owned by Dave Denton. And whilst Dave's here, we may as well give him another one because he pulled another one as well. Dave Denton also with his 63 two-door pulled second prize. And what a beautiful car it is.
Dave, come back.
Prize for the lark class goes to Richard Hobby with a 60 lark.
Over here.
Stay here, will you, Colin? You can present the cruisers as well.
Okay, third prize in the cruiser class was a 64 Daytona owned by Chris Skinner.
Chris, over here. Get back there. Come on, smile.
A very, very nice car. It's a 64 Daytona convertible owned by Chris Priestley.
And ramp.
Chris. Oi, Chris, smile. Thank you.
And first prize goes to a 64 Daytona convertible owned by Mike Kelly.
Mike, over here.
Right, we'll move on to the Hawk 56 to 61, a GT Hawk, and we'll ask Peter Coles from New South Wales to come and present these trophies.
A 1960 Hawk owned by Peter Hayden.
Over here. Oh.
First place in the 56 to 61 Hawk went to a very new car, 57 Silver Hawk, owned by Dave Trembath.
What should we use here? What would you drive over tonight?
Okay, crunch time. Third place for Hawk, GT Hawk, was 1963 Hawk. It only has 19,000 miles on the clock, so who else but George Johnson? Well done. For a truly beautiful Hawk for a long period of time is Jim Quigley's 64.
No, the crow's colours.
And first place goes to a 63 Hawk for Ray Lamming.
A beautiful area next to the Spokane River, and it's also right next to where the World's Fair was in 1974. Right next to the Mead Hotel on the other side is the downtown shopping area in Spokane. And there's lots of shops and lots of restaurants. So it's all very close within walking distance of the hotel. I'd also like for you to know that in 2006, our international meet will be in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, Nebraska is in the central part of the United States, sort of right in the middle. So there's going to be lots of vehicles there from around the country. The new Studebaker National Museum in South Bend. Also, for the first time at the South Bend International Meet, the Packard Club, PAC, is going to be joining us too for the concourse. So there'll be lots of vintage Packards there along with the Studebakers. So if you're able to make any of these events, we'd certainly like to have you join us. Thanks.
Thanks, Ed. Right, Brendan, are you ready to go again? You need to come up and present the trophies.
Is Warren Thompson. Wasn't the best dress category, they say. Go back. That was. 63 of Auntie is Mike and Janice Lynch. And first place in the 90s with the 1964 Avanti, Max Arbery.
Right, we're moving now to the modified, the road class and the longest distance, and we've asked Barry Leakmore.
For the 1964 two-door sedan, Ashley Cronin. How much photo? Jeff Pye. And first prize with a 1960 Lark convertible, Nathan Cramer. He took it to Goulburn and nearly destroyed it in the back of a trailer. It's all worth it. Okay, we have two placements for the road class. The second place goes to a 1964 sedan from Graham Wright. And first place with a 1963 champion, Dave Marr. We now have a long distance trophy and it's very, very hard to work out sometimes. But we've crunched the numbers, and Don Gibson with a 63 lark from Dinboon, Western Australia. He doesn't realise it's a very nice trophy, but I've got a funny feeling he has to take it all the way to Brisbane next time. There's good news and there's bad news, isn't there?
Righto, thank you, Barry. Top 10, and we go to our coordinator, Brenton Thomas, to present it. We'd ask Bob Reesmuller to come out and announce who's won it. Bob is one of our national coordinators, members on the committee.
Good evening, everybody. 10th place. I'd like to call on Dave Pink with his 1925 Standard 6. Might as well use this thing I've got. We have in 8th place, ladies and gentlemen, a 1952 TRS Ute, Colin Scott. Gentlemen, 7th place, a 1960 Lark convertible, and it's coming to South Australia. Richard Hobby, where are you, Richard? We have the 1955 Commander hardtop, and guess who? Bob Clark. What a lovely car it is too. Bob, where are you? So we're just deciding whether we have a break or not. We've decided not to. Ladies and gentlemen, in 5th place, a 1964 GT Hawk. And guess who? James Quigley. James. starting to get very interesting, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? In fourth place, a 1963 GT Hawk owned by our own Ray Lemming. My idea was to keep her in suspension for a bit longer, but my esteemed president, whom I love dearly, said we'll just keep going. So we're going to keep going. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, third place. And we've got this problem again. Meredith, are you handling it? No, I am. Yeah, 1964, a bandy, Max Arbery. Max, congratulations. Yeah, it's getting exciting, isn't it? Yeah, second place, it's a 1964 vehicle. It's a Studebaker. And it's a Daytona convertible of Mike Kelly's. The trophies to go. Well, a very important one, this one, isn't it? I'd like to keep in suspension for half an hour, but they won't let me. So first place, ladies and gentlemen, this vehicle was built in 1963. According to this, it was built in 63. And I assume that's right. It's a commercial vehicle and it's a Champ Duke, and the owner is Dave Marsh.
Got the other one up here, Brent. Trophy. Righto, we'll move straight into People's Choice.
This is a very popular trophy, isn't it? I've always loved People's Choice. I don't know who it is. I'll find out in a moment. I think I'll find out in a moment. Yeah, third prize, ladies and gentlemen, is a third prize in People's Choice. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the car I voted for actually is a 1928 President Roadster, is the People's Choice of the National for this particular year.
Thank you, Bob.
Can I just get everyone to give a round of applause to Dave, the group, and our photographers for the photos.
Unfortunately, he can't be here, but his name was Gordon DeMars. He's just bought one of the South Australian Hawks, and he's joining up next month, but he had something on tonight and a family affair and couldn't make it. Right, then Chris, we'll move straight into you with the...
And I think he's going to tell you a bit of a story about what you don't do.
or how important it is to get to a national, probably more importantly. John, round this way. John? We have several hard luck stories around the place, but I thought, John, it's all about the car and the person and the effort. Yeah, John, come and speak to the mic and give them that story.
Well, I don't think it's much of a story. I was so disgusted when I did my water pump in and made 20 phone calls on the mobile and couldn't find one. Ended up having to stay 200 miles east of here at Oyen and get a bus on Good Friday, which didn't get here until 4 o'clock. Then I got a cab out to the city, which took another hour, and got here at 5 o'clock. So I didn't have much of a Good Friday here. But I heard that one of the guys fell out of a bunk and broke his leg. Surely he would have deserved this trophy better than me. Well, okay, fair enough. But I'd just like to thank the committee for a very, very well organised meet. I think it was excellent. When I spent the night in the motel at Owen on Thursday night, I vowed and declared I'd never come to another meet. I was totally disgusted and completely depressed. However, having got here eventually, I've enjoyed the day and 2 days, 3 days, whatever. And on top of that, won 2 trophies without a car. That's phenomenal. So, I have to thank my friend Roger Jennings for all saying the nice things about me to get me the first trophy. The other one, I don't know whether it's deserved or not, but at least I've got a water pump from Crump, and I shall have to try and put it in on Tuesday night, or Tuesday afternoon, whenever the guys that are taking me back there get there. But it's a long drive, so I don't suppose I'll get very far on Tuesday. And I'd actually driven 1,150 miles before the thing broke down, and I'm only 200 miles away. I thought it was rather disgusting. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you very much.
Thanked Dave Marr with 2 other trophies. He'll probably hate me forever because he was actually praying that somebody would actually get a better commercial than him, so he'd have to wouldn't have to take 1 trophy home. But unfortunately, he actually showed it to me and unscrewed it and all when I was at his place, and the Water Iron trophy has to go back to good old Dave with his beautiful utilities. And also, because he had top show car, he also has what was the old Perpetual trophy. So, Dave, would you mind coming up? And you might have bring some help, I think, because you'll need somebody else to lug this heavy furniture away. Try to get rid of 1 and he ended up with 2. What luck.
Tomorrow and what time and where they are, and is Ray around?
Are we there yet?
David Peck, owner of the museum, and the beautiful Studebaker we're about to see wants to give us a short talk.
Okay, hi, good morning everybody, welcome to Gembrook and welcome to the motorist. I'm not going to talk for long, I just really want to give you an introduction to the town so that those of you who don't want to go through the museum, you don't have to feel obliged that you need to go through. But I'll just tell you what there is to see and do in the town, either before you have your lunch or after you have the lunch. Probably important thing to know is that Puffin Billy engine arrives here at 12:30, just across there where you parked your car. So that's quite a nice thing to see when it arrives. Did you see it going over the Trestle Bridge?
No.
No? So you missed it there. Okay. So the train comes in at 12:30 and it leaves again today at 2:30. And it's parked there all the time, so feel free to do that. It's good to see it arrive. It shuts back, it goes to the water tank behind where you park your cars, and there's a bit of activity around there between 12:30 and 2 o'clock. Introduction to the town. In terms of this place, this used to be a service station, and it was originally a timber building on this site in the 1920s, and that burned down. And this, as far as I can work out, the early 1950s. And then this brick building was built, and it served as a service station for a number of years. It became the motorist about 8 years ago. I didn't initiate it. It was initiated by three other guys who were here for a while, and I purchased this complex about 3 years ago. This is very much a work in progress for me. It's just one of those, like everybody restores cars. I'm doing a museum, and it will just hopefully grow over time. So if there's any contributions that anybody want to make in terms of information or exhibits, feel free to approach me at any time now or in the future.
There you go, Bob.
If any of you want to come, if any of you want to come back here again with another group, we will welcome that. It is important that you make contact with me and we actually set it up, because it's not open all the time. I'll let you go into the museum. I'll let you wander around for 15-20 minutes, and then I'll call the group together and we'll just have a quick chat about the Studebaker that's in there, which you may have had a bit of an introduction to, but it's the only one in the world, and it's got a solid brass body. So,
very good.
I'll open the door for you. You can wander through.
How much of it is broken?
You know me from there?
Yeah, the face was good.
Yes. Come on, you've got to put one on too.
Can't keep his pose up for so long.
I'd actually like to Studebaker people. I'd talk a little bit about Studebakers. This is the first Studebaker that I ever bought, and that's the second one that I bought, which I still own. They're both 1925 Special Sixes. This one is a California hardtop, which they made quite a few of. This one is a stretch limousine which is the only one in the world. Now I say that because I figure if I keep saying it, somebody will come along one day and say you're wrong. It's not. So I don't mind if that's the case. It's also, to my knowledge, the only brass car in the world. So I'm happy to be corrected on that, because I'd just love to know whether there's another brass car.
You'd like to have it, would you?
The only reason I bought this car was because it was brass. I wouldn't have bothered otherwise in buying it or restoring it. I wasn't looking for it particularly. It just was one of those situations. You pick up the Age on a Saturday morning, you look in the vintage section, you see Studebaker, and it was advertised as a Studebaker limousine for restoration. Now I also run a vintage hire car business, not from these premises. I run a business called Vintage Fun Hire Cars on the corner of Burton Highway and Scoresby Road in Fletcher Gully. And that's where this car is currently, together with a number of other cars that I use specifically for hire. So because this was advertised as a limousine, I was interested because of the multiple seating arrangements. So I went to have a look at it. It was for sale in Wangaratta, and it was owned by the local policeman at the time. My understanding is, and if anybody can clarify it for me before, it was owned by a Studebaker enthusiast somewhere in that area, whose name I think I knew when I bought the car, but I've now forgotten. So if anybody can help me fill in the gaps, my understanding is that particular person may have died, and it may have been an estate or the local policeman ended up with it, and but he wasn't a restorer or an enthusiast, and he just stuck an ad in the paper. He didn't advertise it as a brass car, and I genuinely feel he didn't know it was a brass car. Because I think if you knew, you would have advertised it that way. So it was basically complete for the wreck. Just down here on the left, if any of you haven't been down this little passageway on the left, there's a number of little photos of the car as I bought it, unrestored, and then some little photos of the restoration process. Now, this has been on the road, I think, about 10 years now. I can't take a lot of credit for a lot of the work that's gone into this. I could take credit for earning the money that paid the people to do lots of the work. But I did have a fairly hands-on involvement in all the chassis work and the engine work and all that sort of thing. But the body, I basically had nothing to do with other than sort of putting it together. Most of the body work was done by Graham Marshman, who's did a wonderful job. I took this car to him and I said, I don't want to paint it, I want to polish it. But I want you to, I don't expect the bodywork to be perfect. It doesn't bother me if there's a few little marks and things left in it. It's going to be used as a hire car, so it's going to get some wear and tear, but I'd just like to show it off for what it is. So I think he did a great job. When I got the car, it was, this was all accident damage. It obviously ran into a tree, something like this. And they'd written off this guard and bent the chassis, and that's what put it off the road. For those of you that are particularly interested, I'd like you to look at this bug guard, because just there you will see a weld. So that was done. That piece of bug guard there was remade and welded on to the original guard. That piece of brass that's there came from under the roof, which was up here. Because we made that piece out of new brass, and we stuck it together and polished it. It's two completely different parts. Just like the line there. So we got the brass analysed. We tried to buy new brass to match and all that sort of thing without success. But then we pulled the fabric off the roof, because that was all made of fabric, and we found there was brass under the roof. So this was the source. Now you did the panel reading, so you would appreciate this. So we made it again and stuck it together, and that's how we ended up with what we did.
So is there a hole in the roof up there now where that piece of brass was?
There's galvanised steel, now of course, so it still lasts forever.
Yeah.
I did get the car running before I restored it. It wasn't running when I bought it, but it actually wasn't that hard to get it running. So, but I rebuilt the engine completely anyway. The car is steel, the bonnet's steel, the scaffold's steel, but the whole rest of the car, even under the painted section of the burgundy paint, is brass. You'd appreciate panel beading and polishing around all the window openings. It was something that was going to be a bit tedious, so we decided to paint the top half. It does tarnish. During the restoration process, I experimented with various lacquers. We polished up little bits, and I tried various clear lacquers and sprays and all sorts of things. Left it out in the weather, and every one of them still tarnished. Different rates, but they still tarnished. And unfortunately, when you put a lacquer over the top, when it tarnishes, you actually can't polish it again. So I made the decision that we put nothing on it, and it's polished with brasso. So I'm thinking of seeking a sponsorship from brasso. It shows all the finger marks. Because you're enthusiasts and you're Studebaker people, it doesn't bother me today if you go up and finger the cards and that sort of thing. Because you want to, you can't help yourself. That's okay for you guys. But it is a hire car when we go out doing weddings. I cringe when people come with their sweaty hands and all the pose. So every time it goes out, it has to be polished. Fortunately, I've got a young assistant, 16-year-old guy who's he polishes it for me. So today is the day. Give it the brasso. Go for it. The interior is not faithful to the original. It had a tapestry interior, but it was like sort of brown and black. There's remnants of the original material, but the material that I ultimately with is in the style of. The glass division I put in. There actually wasn't a glass division originally, even though it was a stretch limousine. And the seating was different. It had tip-up seating all facing forward, because I wanted to use this as a hire car, and there's regulations that restrict you with those tip-up jump seats. I put reverse facing seats in.
When you say step, that's what it's called.
Yeah, going to the floor. This particular California hardtop is also a 7-passenger, but it doesn't have its seats, so extra seats in it. I only use this as a 4-passenger car. But you've got heaps of legal. This one was originally designed as a 7-passenger, but it's not a stretch. This is stretch.
I think that car there used to belong to Mel Shaw, didn't it?
Yes, this one did. Yeah, this was blue back when I bought it. And I painted these colours mainly to complement this one, so they could be used as a pair.
I don't know where the car came from, David, but I remember as a kid, my uncle came out, he hired a car, and he had these fold-up seats. It was a Studebaker. I don't know where he got no more knowledge other than I was impressed by this car.
Right.
Where, as kids, we sat on these fold-up seats on the floor, so
yes.
The big one. I don't know where this is in.
Well, there are in the vintage Studebaker movement, there's a couple of limousines that I know of, but they're late 20s cars with the jump seats. Today, through the museum, as you wish. Jim, who runs the trail bike ride, he's out the front. If you just say you're from the Studebaker Club, he'll let you back in. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Good, thank you very much.
Go down the wall.
They just scan over the
Car club.
It opens next Thursday.
Oh no, I don't want to go there. I'm just saying, oh, you can go that one. Me. No. That's where you don't close out. Look at that.
Yeah, yellow and green line. Yeah, it's a 50 cent, 58, 57. Where is it? That wasn't bad. Yeah, man. Hello, buddy. No, I don't lose it. Oh, where is it? That's right. That would be one over.
Clarky would be able to give us a bit to move. Has Clarky still got that
Have everyone's attention, please. Hi. Going to start the recruitment presentation. All right. Firstly, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming today, helped making it a success. Especially to everyone who helped out, judging or marshalling. Sam for doing the tallying. Mum for selling the raffle tickets. Dave for donating the raffle prize, which was a bit rigged. Anyone else who I forgot, thank you. All right, we'll start off with the classes. Vintage class went to Dave Pink. Pre-war class went to Jim Callett. Post-war class. Third place went to Rodney Newton with the 53 champion. Second place went to Ian Cox with the 52 champion. And first place went to Dave Pink with the 53 champion. Hawk class. Second place went to Noel Hardy with the 63 GT. And first place went to Richard Salter with the 62 GT. Lark class. Third place went to Jim Dusting with the 62 Daytona. Second place went to Phil Harrington with the 62 Lark. And first place went to Matt Larson with the 62 Daytona. Modified. There was only one in that. That went to Ashley Cronin with the 64 Commander. Commercial class. Third place went to Frank Little with the 64 Champ. Second place went to Colin Scott with the 52 Pickup. And first place went to Andrew Judd with the 64 Champ. Now, road class went to Rupert Peake with the 63 Hawk. Rupert, come on, collect the trophy.
Alright, there you go. Look at the camera.
Look at the
Alright, the People's Choice Award this year went to Andrew Judd with the 64 Champ.
Thank you. Just smile camera.
That's hard to do. Alright, now we get down to the nitty gritty, the top 10. In 10th place went to Jim Dusting with the 62 Daytona. Congratulations, Jim. Thank you. Turn around, Jim.
Why don't you give a raps about your camera, mate?
Ninth place went to Ian Cox with the 52 champion.
Turn around. Oh, no, you got
Oh, so juice.
8th place went to Frank Little with the 64 champ.
Congratulations.
7th place went to Phil Harrington with the 62 Lark.
Thank you very much. That's lovely. Thank you, Steve.
No way.
Thank you.
6th place went to Dave Pink with the 53 champion.
But not my camera.
Thanks.
5th place went to Matt Larson with the 62 Daytona.
You grab the trophy, I'll slip the tongue in on sand.
to Colin Scott with the 52 pickup.
Do it yourself.
Third place went to Dave Pink with the 25 tourer.
That's right.
Kissing my wall.
Second place went to Ashley Cronin with the 64 Commander. And first place went to Andrew Judd with the 64 pickup.
Give a kiss this time, Sam.
Ah. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that big one too. Oh, hang on, no, hold that one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, even if you have got a pile of shit, there's still hope.
Once again, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming along, make the day a success.
Well done, Michael.
Congratulations.
The RACV rally to Mornington, 2006.
We're going to get some fresh answers. That's when it's playing, it comes up. Real trick. I've got 3 piece up
Oh, we missed that bit. We missed that.
How many of you punters have a miniature museum in your garage? If you come across this story about your, what have we got in the bargain today, Doc?
There's the globes, number plates, you name it. And also little miniature pumps, what we call automobilia. Come and have a look at here, we're just over here. Thank you.
Not finished on the 22nd of December. Which we'll come up to. What's the time now?
And I said to you, I said, Thursday, the 26th of January 2006, Australia Day. This is the Australia Day pageant.
we've assembled at High Point West car park. And we'll proceed into King's Domain for a great day. These are members and cars from the Werribee District Collectible Vehicle Club. Jim Quigley has joined us this morning. His 64 GT Hawk. We'll be heading off in just a few minutes. Okay, here we are now at King's Domain. So line up a few of the cars behind us there. It's Michael's Lark. Jim's Hawk. There's Ken's FC. Looks a bit like Bob's FC, but it's Ken's. There's my Tourer.
I always thought, Norm's got mates there. Norm's got plenty of money. He's a bloody plumber. You got a few mates alive, eh? Listen, give us a ring. If you want to. Just you. There you go.
Don't do that to me.
What that was like when you do it?
D9, is it fun? It's D9, it's D9.
Oh no.
See the reproduction on these stuff. Retro ones, yeah. That's good. In the style.
You made me a movie. You made me a movie star.
Two ugly characters here lurking. We've seen what they can steal.
You've got to go down there. There's one down that street. It feels that you should make the little dashboard for you. One bloke.
Fun, Sonny.
Oh, she is,
Maybe 6. Spin that back a bit. This bit.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm sure they said the same thing about
Here's someone from the past. Looks like Ian Meeks. Ian Meeks from the past. There you go, mate.
Hello.
Good. It's a beautiful Hopmobile. Could only be better if it was a Studebaker.
It's not that far off looking like one, is it?
You might have
Roger Haas, 56 champion.
Go?
I'm sure you can get a break from the car now. Until we reach your time, but still,
Roger, and there's one of those for sale in Queensland, but it's commanded.
Oh.
They've got about 19 grand on it.
Oh, that one's
immaculate.
Oh, really? 19 grand.
I decided to be difficult this morning and didn't want to go, so I bought this one instead. Number 50 goes to 1926, but which is mine, but because it didn't want to operate this morning, I bought this instead.
There's one done. On that one for you. I think he wants for a high price.
I think she was already.
A very long wheelbase Desotto limousine with extra flip up seats.
Quarter of a mile for a spoon. So the spoon you put in the old oven, couldn't afford it.
These are Bristols. Yes, the same to the Volvo.
We've got about 6 of them back at the car.
When I run out, I know where to go. Jamboree in Lansdowne Park in New South Wales, and then we went to the Blue Mountains, and we went to the Jamalian Caves on one of those.
Yeah.
We were in one of them. And you can't prove a goddamn bloody thing.
Hello, Ted.
G'day. Mike, how are you? Dave.
I'm Mike.
Beat at 253, I could have a 4 cylinder. We were across the long road. On the bus.
Frank Dallymore's T model, magnificent vehicle.
You'll have a
Ended up with a Hillman instead. That's having a look at the old cars.
No, we're just touring around. We come every 4 years, 3 or 4 months. So far, yes, we've been here for
I saw a fire truck.
Here's a motley looking crew.
Hollywood Herald.
Hollywood Herald.
Yeah. Yeah. Where is he? Where is he? Come on, do something.
Hollywood Herald.
Yeah.
What a rough, what a rough lot.
Yeah. Yeah, look at all these insane people.
This is the Studebaker Club on a weekend outing.
Can I have your autograph?
$50 you can have my autograph.
$50.
Yeah, better make money somehow.
What are you doing tomorrow? Monday?
Oh, look at him, he's a big slut, isn't he? But look at this crew here.
I'll go to sleep.
Thousands of car companies were formed in the early part of the 20th century. By the mid-1950s, only a handful survived. The independence days were numbered. Soon, only the biggest would be left. They struggled and tried to combine, but it was impossible for most to compete. But all these vanished companies left their mark and fans for their orphan cars. Every year, hundreds of people bring their cars to Ypsilanti, Michigan, for one of the most unusual automotive events, the Orphan Car Show. Usually quiet Riverside Park fills up with the reminders of cars and car companies that have vanished. There are Packards, Corvairs, and a few that redefine what a car could be.
I've got a 1957 Isetta 300 sliding window coupe. It's got a single-cylinder air-cooled engine, 13 horsepower, 4-speed. You shift it on the left side. Top speed supposedly is 53 miles an hour, and it gets 60 miles to the gallon.
BMW's 50s era Isetta was not the only unusual car. There were odd machines from America, too.
The car is a 1947 Crosley pickup, and Crosley built cars from 1946 till 1952.
The Crosley automobile was the brainchild of Powell Crosley, who had already made his fortune as a radio and appliance manufacturer.
It's fun. And, you know, it's something different. I'm not a person that particularly likes Fords and Chevys. I like something a little unusual.
Owning an Orphan opens you up to a lot of questions about what you're driving.
A lot of people have never seen these cars, you know. They say, what is it for a start? But you can tell them they just think it's a car way ahead of its time.
Studebaker commissioned noted designer Raymond Loewy to create these cars in the early 50s. When they didn't sell, Studebaker was headed for trouble. It was a field of dreams, filled with the reminders of the glory days of the automobile business. These cars brought back memories and put a smile on everyone's face. Everyone loves an underdog, and there were plenty in this kennel of cars. It was appropriate that Ypsilanti hosted this car show. It used to be called the end of the line, because it once was the western terminus for the railroads. And the railroads no longer stop in Ypsilanti, but it's still the end of the line for people who love cars that have reached the end of their road. The flame is kept alive by one resident, Jack Miller, who's transformed his father's Hudson dealership into a shrine for these lost cars. His dealership museum takes us back to the days right after World War II, when the independents had their last stand. Ypsilanti was booming. Workers poured into town to work at the nearby Willow Run bomber plant. War production put money in everyone's pockets and created a skilled workforce. The big car companies couldn't retool from war production quickly enough to satisfy the onslaught of buyers. This created an opportunity for smaller, more flexible companies to fill the void. Packard, Studebaker, Kaiser, and Hudson rushed new cars out and beat the big three to market. Jack Miller's father had no trouble selling all the Hudsons he could get. By 1946, Miller's dealership was full of shiny new Hudsons.
Hudsons were special because they had very good performance. It was considered a very good looking car, appealing car. And up through the years, Hudson was always recognized as being a high quality vehicle with a lot of performance potential.
The Hudson Motor Car Company began with the Model 20 in 1909. One of the partners had married the niece of the owners of Detroit's Hudson's department stores, and they backed this ambitious automotive venture. J.L. Hudson was thanked by having the company named after him.
Those of us who fly, oh my...
Hudson was very competitive and scored a PR coup when they convinced America's aviatrix, Amelia Earhart, to christen their new Terraplane in 1932.
I christen thee
Terraplane was rugged and fast. This was the value leader for the company during the 1930s. It set 46 speed and endurance to establish Hudson's performance reputation. By the 1950s, its new Hornet had become the car of choice for hot rodders and stock car racers.
In the 50s, the Hudson was king of stock cylinder engine. Largest at that time of anything, even a truck engine, and the availability of the dual carburetors, it was just an unbeatable combination.
And his fabulous Hudson Hornet stock car, exciting grassroots sport that sprang from bootleggers' needs to outrun the law. Stock car racing eventually morphed into NASCAR. Stage. It was a great time for Hudson. No one thought it would ever end. Another stalwart of the American automotive scene was Studebaker. It had the first new car out after the war. It said its cars were different by design. It had been in Indiana since the 1840s. It made the transition from buggy building to cars. They hired a noted designer, Raymond Loewy, to help them create cars that stood out. Their cars, like the Champion, threatened the Big Three's control of the industry. Too many businessmen were waiting for things to happen. Made them happen. Challenged the domination of the Big Three in the low-priced field. Nothing excites the interest of the public as a good fight and a gallant fighter. Independents took on the Big Three with style. They tried to compete for buyers by offering more. But the tide in this battle was turning. Keeping up with demand in the post-war boom required a tremendous amount of capital for design, engineering, production, and marketing. It was more than the small players could afford.
After World War II, things were great. They were good up until '53.
Now touring America, General Motors is attracting crowds like this one of 55,000 New Yorkers who thronged to the Waldorf Astoria on opening day.
GM, Ford, and Chrysler were all back to full-time production, with a lineup of show cars and real cars designed to dazzle the public. The small independents needed to find a way to stand out in this crowded market. Who had Studebaker struck back with the Starliners in 1953. These Raymond Loewy designed coupes offered American buyers European style and American simplicity. Different by design was the motto. It was the only way an independent car company could stand out from the crowd. One of the most different designs available to car buyers in the 1950s was the Amphicar. Part sports car, part speedboat. The Amphicar acquired in the 1950s snapped up the convenient. You didn't have to tow a boat. Anytime the lake called, you could just drive in. But as much fun as these cars were, they didn't pose much of a threat to the Big Three. The 50s were a hard time for independent car makers. They didn't have the resources to compete with the giants in Detroit. One by one, they merged or disappeared. Hudson and Nash joined forces in 1954 to create American Motors. Company with the Rambler.
with the American Motors, the merger into American Motors with Nash, Hudson dealers got the Rambler, which was recognized and was very competitive. And
but still delivered good fuel economy, and it was affordable. A new Rambler could be had for a little over $2,000, and a convertible for a few dollars more. And focused on new compact Ramblers. AMC's sales quadrupled in 2 years and passed Plymouth to become the third best-selling make in the U.S. Some believe that if the company had a strategy of concentrating on a single Studebaker and Packard were supposed to be a part of the merger with Nash and Hudson, but they were left behind. Instead, they merged in 1955. Omni, they tried. Studebaker dove into the compact market with the Lark. But the field was too crowded by then. Studebaker's last-ditch effort in 1962. It generated interest, but didn't bring enough people into Studebaker dealerships to keep the company going. In 1966, after 108 years, Studebaker was finally gone. They'd abandoned Romney's small cars only philosophy and built a variety of models. And these various models and building. They kept chasing market segments and getting in too late with too little to offer. They jumped into the pony car race and it came out just before the gas crisis hit. AMC held on until 1986 when it sold out to Chrysler, who really wanted its Jeep division. AMC ranks of the other orphans, but its cars to the forgotten. The bubble back at the Orphan Car Show have a story. There are literally hundreds of different vehicles that have almost but reappear Ypsilanti. People adopt an orphan car, he's adopted the last Hudson dealership in the world.
Raised in the Hudson garage. The family example of the ma and pa spirit in the auto industry. Over the years, the media has the title "The World's Last Operating Hudson." This year, to keep up the advertising value. Naturally, they're used Hudsons.
They even have an that can back. Ypsilanti was the perfect place for the orphan car movement. It had been the home and Joseph Frazier transformed the Willow Run bomber plant to make Kaiser cars. Later, GM used the same plant to build Corvairs. All this history gave Miller the idea to create the Orphan Car Show. It would give the owners an annual event where they could reminisce and celebrate.
Ford Museum. And finally in 1996, we decided that we should stop talking and do it.
You get to walk around, you get to almost the touchy-feely of the cars, but you also see a lot of cars that you never get to see any other time.
There's some innovations that made the automobile part of our culture.
This whole show is a book on the history of the automobile.
History here in Ypsilanti. It's a rolling account of the trials and tribulations of the automotive pioneers. This is a place to come if you love The Orphan Car Show is their last hurrah.
The 2006 Studebaker concourse at Moorabbin Airport. That's alright, it was my own fault. We're here with Colin and his 2R5 pickup. You want to tell us a bit about your truck, Colin?
Yeah, you can do that. So, 2R5 pickup with a 6-cylinder champion motor in it. 3-speed manual. Very tall diff. Screws along the road. Standard drum brakes. Took about 2.5, 3 years to restore.
It's come up a treat.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Here with Jim Quickly and his lovely 64 GT Hawk. Want to tell me a bit about your car, Jim? Well, tell it for the camera, just so I
The car was a 64 and there was only 5 in the factory, and perhaps 2 or 3 have come in since. And they were a low production model. There was only probably around 1,700. And this car is a factory right-hand controlled car built in South Bend, Indiana, as opposed to the majority of the cars in this country. There were 63 also were built at Tottenham in Melbourne, and more latterly in Heidelberg in Melbourne. And this car has survived quite well. In fact, I agreed to live the car when it was on the ship with the other 4. That was so long ago I can't even remember, but I so I got the car in 1970, and I've had a lot of joy out of it since, including having a wedding card to birthday quarters.
And my father.
The president of the car club. What else have you got?
Oh, that's all. Thanks, Jim.
All right,
Thank you
mate,
for your time.
You can do it a little bit. All right.
And Jimmy.
G'day.
With Gary Hunter and his 65 Commander. You want to tell us a bit about your car, Gary?
I've had the car for nearly 10 years, and when I bought it I dragged it out of the shed. It was just a shell and the chassis was broken at the front, so I rebuilt the whole car, shortened the large chassis, bought a 350 shed motor for it, stuck a 5-speed gearbox in it, so gas. It's an everyday car. I drive it every day of the week without fail. Use it in some
I've got Frank Little here, and he's going to tell us about his 64 Champ pickup.
There's not a lot I can tell you. I bought the thing in 1983. It was a farm vehicle. I bought it registered, unroadworthy. I drove it for about 6 weeks. Then I decided I'd restore it, pull it to pieces like a lot of us do. And it stayed in pieces for 20 years. And it was only when I got sick a couple of years ago that I decided I better do it, otherwise someone else will finish up with it. So I started restoring it again in September of 2004, and I took it to the National Meet in 2005. 2005 National, yeah, that's right. So I really only worked on it for about 6 months. And here it is. Now it's all done and it's all finished. And what you see is it's a 289 original motor rebuilt, of course. And I've got an auto behind it. It used to be a 3-speed manual, which I didn't like, too old for that. So it's now got a Studebaker auto in it with a little T-shift in it. And it's running 3-1 gears in the diff, so as it gets along the road all right. And other than that, there it is. What you see is what you've got.
Thank Frank. All right, we've got Bob Godley here now, and he's going to tell us about his freshly restored 47 Starlight Coupe, which is his first time out here today.
Well, my 47 Starlight, we've had it family since 1953. And then the last registration was 1968, it went in. And I decided to restore it about 4 years ago. Put it back on the road. From then on, do a lot of work on it, and there's the car now.
What did you have to do to the car, Bob?
Do the engine up, the interior, Duco, a little bit of rust here and there, and more or less that's about all.
All right, thanks. It's come up really nice.
Really nice, eh? I haven't got anything else to tell you, I suppose.
And thanks for everyone who helped out. Judges, marshals, Margaret except for the 10 all day tallying. It was a great day, thank you very much. Alright, firstly we'll start with the classes. Alright, we'll start off the ones with one entry. Vintage and veteran class went to Dave Pink. Cruiser class went to Bob Godley. And Avanti class went to Max Arbor. Next, road class. Third place went to Jim Dusting. Second place went to Alf Peterson. And first went to Phil Harrington. Hawk class. Third place went to Noel Hardy. Was that the guy? Yeah. Alright. He's not here, I don't know his first name. Second place went to someone McFadden who had the Finn Hawk there. And first place went to Richard Salter. Post-war, third place went to Bob Godley. Second place went to Ian Cox. And first place went to Dave Pink. Commercial class. Third place went to Frank Little. Second place went to Colin Scott. And first place went to Andrew Judd. Now, road class. First place went to Rupert Peake. Come up, get ready for Rupert.
Yeah, mate.
People's choice. This year it went to Max Arbery with the 64 advantage. Jesus shrunk.
Turn this way. Turn this way. Take the photo.
Alright, now the top 10. 10th place went to Ivor Lewis with a 61 Lark Cruiser.
Smile.
9th place went to Jim Dusting with a 62 Daytona.
Hang on.
Yeah, we'll come over smart way. That's smart girl.
Thank you.
8th place went to Alpha Peterson with the 63 Lark Cruiser.
Smile.
7th place went to Phil Harrington with the 62 Lark.
Can I kiss this winner?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 6th place went to Dave Pink with the 53 Champion. Thank you. 5th place went to Frank Little with a 64 Champ pickup.
Congratulations.
4th place went to Colin Scott with the 52 2R5 pickup.
Just want to thank Michael for doing a great job of the trophies. I think they look fantastic. And I don't want to embarrass this person, but I'd like to thank Frank Little for motivating me to get me to pull that motor out of the engine, out of the truck and put the other one in. Thank you.
3rd place went to Dave Pink with the 25 Tourer.
Very good, Dave.
2nd place went to Andrew Judd with the 64 Champ pickup.
This way.
And 1st place went to Max Arbery with the 64 advantage.
Congratulations.
Thank you
So
very
they
much.
take the
Thank
photo.
you. Thank you.
Which one?
There you go. Get the big one as well.
Oh.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone who's organised it today. It's a great day.
Well, once again, just like to thank everyone for coming. It was a great day.
Thanks.
I wanted to